This is going to absolutely destroy the car market. The car market is going to crash in just about 2 months, but it's not because of the reasons you're thinking. So right now, we are finally back, I'll show you, to a place where we've got 4 rows of cars. We got 3 full ones and then a half of a fourth row, but we've got cars that are coming from storage right now. All right, so here's what we're doing now. We got the storage lot. We're getting all these cars out of here. So we have to go through, we have to recheck all these cars to make sure they're good, because it's not great for cars to be sitting for a very long time. So we need to drive them for a bit. A lot of times, some of these batteries, we'll have to change them out. Anyway, that's an added complication to us not being able to have but just so much room on our lot and trying to load up, is that some of these cars will sit and we'll have some issues that come along with these. So hopefully they're all good, but at the very minimum, we'll have some batteries that we have to change out here. Now, why is it so crazy at my little car lot where we have 130 to 150 cars starting out? Well, what we're doing right now is we're buying as many cars as we can. We're loading up as many as we can in this $3,000 to even up to $5,500, but $5,500 is the top amount that I have at my car lot right now. Well, it's because all of this tax money is coming into the system right now. We've already been hit with it. All right, so check out this car. Gross, right? So what we're doing right now is we're actually driving cars to Autobell. It's like I don't know if it's nationwide or whatever, but it's like a car wash place, because we want to get these cars cleaned up as quickly as possible and for sale. And Alex is doing the same thing. So we're getting all these cars, take them straight to get them washed. They're already been inspected if they're good to go, and they're putting them on the lot. This is how fast we have to operate doing these things, because money's going to be gone. I can't say that enough. Money's going to be gone very, very quickly, and we have to get cars on our lot ready very, very quickly so we can get them out. Right now is what Alex is saying. Over the last 4 days, we've sold just about 40 cars, and there are a lot of other car dealers that are experiencing a very similar situation. But here's the problem. There are a lot of other car dealers that haven't done what we've done. What they're doing is they're sitting back on cars that they've had for a very long time. And this is a situation that could end up decimating a lot of these car dealers, and each and every year it actually does. And this leads to a massive, massive car market crash that happens. It happens just about every year. And this year I'm going to explain to you exactly what's going to happen as we get closer to this situation. I think just about 2 months it's going to happen. And it's either going to be bad for a lot of these car dealers, or it's going to be very, very, very bad. And it's going to depend on the consumer. So let's talk through those scenarios. All right, so this is Nate. He is my sales manager. What's the most difficult time? First off, just so you know, how many cars have we sold in the last 4 days?
Like 40.
40 cars, yeah, that's what I've been saying. So your first year that you worked with me, we had a crazy tax time. But in the last few years, it's been difficult because we haven't had cheap cars. This year we have cheap cars. So what's been the most challenging thing over the last few days for you?
Probably just maintaining the lot, the organization of the lot, with where people are parking cars when they come back from test drives, where they're parking when they come into the lot.
Yeah, so we get people that park in non-parking spots. There's literally one right there that she's not parked in the parking spot. Yep. I don't understand. People, if you're going to come to my lot, don't park in the driveway. Why would you? There's parking spot. They're right there. They're marked. Don't park in the middle of the driveway. I don't
get it either. It just makes the parking lot a complete chaotic mess.
So how long until you think we're down to like 20 cars?
Week and a half, 2 tops.
Yep, that's what I think. I think next week, towards the end of the week, we're going to be just about. And when I say we're down to 20 cars, like we're basically out of cars at that point. We're down to 20 cars. Yeah, so hopefully you're right. So here we go. We have scenario 1 where this I think is most likely to happen, but we have the traditional route of, okay, tax money hits, it hits hard. We've experienced it here, but I'm an outlier for most dealers, because most dealers are not selling cars for $3,000. They're not selling cars for $4,500. They don't have a lot of those vehicles on their lot. They're selling cars, at least the mid-range dealers, at least $5,000 up to $10,000, and that's where you're going to find most of your independent used car dealers. They're going to fall in that kind of range. So the scenario one is that, okay, all of these dealers do pretty well. They do like me. They sell a lot of cars, and then they go to auction. They rush to auction. They pay way too much for cars. Car prices spike around this time because used car dealers, just like myself, we get into panic mode where we sell a bunch of cars in a very short amount of time, just like we have recently done, and we want to load our car lot back up. I don't have to deal with this situation because I load up before, but most car dealers live paycheck to paycheck. They're on floor plans. They use credit lines. They can't do the same thing that I do. So they go into panic mode, go to auction, pay way too much for cars, car prices spike, and then we have this crash on the other end where these car dealers that pay too much money for all these cars, they can't sell them after the fact because all the tax money gets just evaporates as quickly as it comes. And now all these car dealers, they take time to actually get their cars ready before they can sell them. So all that time passes, tax money's gone, they have too much in their cars, and now we start one of the slowest times during the year, beginning of summer, for used car dealers. And the reason being is because all of these car dealers, they have too much money in their cars, they don't move with the market quick enough, and then consumers aren't there to buy their cars. And in that situation, we have a car market crash every single year. Happens on the wholesale prices, and then about a month and a half later, it starts happening on retail prices. You can look at charts. Manheim does a lot of wholesale charts. You can look back through the years. You can see the crash every year. It happens every year right after tax time. All right, so now we are in the middle of the car wash right now. What's interesting with these cars is sometimes the weather stripping can be bad and we not know it before we get in this. The worst though is if it has a sunroof and there's a sunroof leak that we don't know, and you can get absolutely drenched in one of these cars. And it's happened to me many times before. Yeah, sunroofs, I've gotten soaked from sunroofs, and there's nothing you can do about it because right here, like my car's in neutral, I'm on this little track or whatever. I can't get out of here. No leaks. So good day for me to not get absolutely drenched. Let's talk about staying safe on the road and capturing every detail with the Vantrue E1 Pro. It's the smallest 4K dash cam on the market. With its advanced Starvis 2 CMOS sensor, it records stunning 4K resolution at 30 frames per second in HDR. Whether it's day or night, you'll get clear, reliable footage, including license plates, thanks to Vantrue's PlayPix technology. The CPL filter reduces glare for sharper video quality, and with support for up to 1 terabyte of storage. You'll never have to worry about running out of space. Plus, features like audio noise reduction, privacy mode, and mileage tracking make it more than just a dash cam. It's a smart driving companion. Installation is quick and easy using the GPS mount, and the fast charging power system ensures it's always ready to go. You can also download footage quickly through the Vantrue app, ensuring that everything's always at your fingertips. If you're looking for a reliable, compact dash cam that keeps you safe and covered, the Vantrue E1 Pro is the perfect choice. Check out the link in the description below, or check out vantrue.com to get yours today. All right, now we have scenario 2, and this is a scenario that I'm most concerned about. I don't think it's likely, just because we've already seen some tax money here. I've talked to a couple buddies. They haven't seen any tax money. So this makes this scenario a little bit more likely in my eyes, but this is the one that I'm worried about for a lot of car dealers that are out there. Where we don't have as much of the population that's going to buy cars typically, well, they hold on to that money. And in that case, when you have that, you can have dealers like myself who load up and have all these cars. And yeah, we experience a little busy time for just a few days, but then the money dries up a lot faster than it typically would because the people are going to buy cars. They buy cars. That's the first wave, right? And then the second wave and the third wave and the fourth wave just doesn't materialize because those people that normally would buy cars, well, maybe they have to spend more money on eggs. They have to spend more money on, right now, even childcare, rent, insurance. All those things have stacked up on them, and they have credit card bills that are at record high delinquencies. Well, they have to pay those off. They have auto loans of cars that they already own that are at the highest delinquency rates that we've ever seen. So maybe they're going to pay down some of those bills. And if we get that scenario where you have a little pop, you have dealers go into panic mode, go buy a lot of cars, and then that second wave doesn't filter through, well, then you have a scenario where you have tons and tons of car dealers that are way overexposed, more than they normally would be during tax time, because they think, what normally happens, that second, that third, that fourth wave, that tax time that's going to last for about a month or so, that's going to happen, and it never happens. That is a very scary situation, and that car crash, that car market crash that would happen at the back end normally for tax time, well, it's going to happen much, much, much greater if that situation were to occur, because these car dealers that would get overexposed, well, tax time usually saves them a little bit because they're able to sell through some of their inventory. But now if tax time doesn't materialize how we would normally see it, because of inflation, because everything costing so much, because people just unable to be able to buy cars, then you're going to have a massive, massive drop off, and you're going to have a lot of dealers that are stuck holding the bag. And if that happens, you could see a lot of these car dealers actually go out of business. And we did have our recon area cleaned out, but Alex bought some cars this week. So now we've loaded it back up. We got to figure out what to do with these cars, get them ready, get them out. And this is the time of year where they make me help, so I don't miss this. I feel like I've kind of earned the ability to go sit back in my office and disappear. I've been doing it for 14 years, and then my first like 7 or 8 years of building this thing, I did it all. I bought the car, I checked out the car, went to the auction, checked out the car, bought the car, had to manage the capital to buy the car. Then after that, I had to transport the car. My poor wife, she was working still a real job back then, and she helped me transport. So we would go. There was an auction we went to on Wednesday nights, and it started at like 5:30. So her job, she had 9 to 5, so her job ended at 5 o'clock, and my auction started at 5:30. So she would wait for me to be done with the auction. I would come home and pick her up, and we'd be driving cars on Wednesday night, like 10, 11 o'clock at night, and that's if there's no problems. If there's problems, we're up past that. But even then, she had to go to work again the next morning, and be there at 9. So I think she deserves the ability to sit back and not do anything also. But anyway, so I've done it for a long time. After we transport the cars, got off on tangent, getting back to the shop, I would fix whatever was wrong with it if I could fix it. Drive them to get them inspected, and then I would clean them, and then post them online, and then I would talk to the customer, and then I would answer the phone calls, and then I would sell the car, I would count the money, I would do the money. I'm tired, I'm burned out. But actually, I'm just whining. No, I have not earned the ability to sit back and do nothing. And that's why we help out. My wife has been shuttling us all day long, getting these cars ready too. So we have Andrew behind me, Alex going to run cars, and my lovely wife, Yo, is driving the shuttle. The shuttle is her Honda Odyssey. So she's not sitting back either, and that's why we're successful. We're hard workers. Got to get it done. It's always something, gotta get it done. So now, when can you get back into the market to actually buy a car? If you want to buy a used car, well, especially if you have if you're getting a tax refund check, hold on to the money. Hold on to it for at least 4 or 5 months. Then I think you can start looking around at dealerships. You can start looking around at individual cars. I'd rather you buy from an individual, honestly, than a dealer anyway. I mean, these cars we buy from auction. And we don't know the history. We can pull up a Carfax, but that's not going to tell us how the car was maintained. That's not going to tell us what kind of driver there was in the car before. And if you can buy a car specifically from someone you actually know, then I think, one, you can get a better deal than buying it from a dealer, because we buy stuff wholesale and then we have them mark it up. We make money. And then a lot of dealers on top of that are going to put a dock fee. They're going to do all these other kind of fees. They're going to try to sell you stuff. They're going to be scummy, everything like that. We don't charge dock fee, but a lot of that's rare. I would say I'm probably in the 1% to 2% of all dealers that does not charge a dock fee. That's going to be commonplace in a lot of these. So I would rather you buy from an individual. It's just better. Even for me, I don't know where a lot of these cars come from. They come from auction, they're trade-ins. I don't know how they were kept up. So it's better for you to buy from an individual, even from somebody like me. And I feel like we check out the cars pretty well. So got off topic. When can you start buying a car, or at least looking for one? 5-6 months from now, I would be my assumption. So typically, car dealers rush the auction, and then it's going to take them like 2 months plus to figure out that there are no buyers. So then they have to lower the prices. Then they have to figure out that there's no buyers even at that lowered amount. So then they lower them again. And then when they do that second lowering, because people aren't buying, that's when they start to get distressed. That's when they start to go in panic mode a little bit, because their floor plans, their credit lines are coming due on the cars that they bought at an elevated rate at tax time. So that's the time period you want to hit them. That's when they're going to be the most negotiable. That's when they're going to move off these cars as quickly as possible. All right, so all of these cars over here are they're all in recon, and I think they're all being waited. We're waiting to get them cleaned up. We have mobile detailers that come out, and they come out generally once a week, but they know that we're busy and we got a lot of cars for them to clean up, so they're going to come twice this week. But this is something that we have to. It's not necessarily a level of frustration, but there's some stress that's associated with having these cars over here. Because 2 days ago, when the tax money actually hit us, if I had all of these cars just ready and waiting for people to be able to buy, if I had the ability to have the amount of space to have all the cars that I have over there in storage right now ready to go, and all those cars, they've already been inspected. All they need is to be cleaned up, so they're pretty much ready to go. But we just didn't have the room to have all of those cars sitting over here. I can only hold 70, 80, push it maybe 90 cars here at this lot, but comfortably about 75 to 80 cars. So we just don't have the room to have all the cars that we have available sitting at this lot. But if I was able to do that, we probably would have sold 20, 25 cars whenever that tax money first hit. So here's the rush that we have to go through right now, is that we know, because we've been through enough of these now. I think this is season 14 of me actually going through tax time. That the money, it goes. I mean, it hits us hard, and then it dries up really, really quickly. So we know in this 2 to 3 week span, we've got to move as many cars as possible. We have to get the cars here. We have to get them ready. We have to get them into consumers' hands that have money right now, because these consumers, they're going to spend the money. They're going to spend it very quickly, and a lot of them, they don't want to. I mean, this is the most amount of money that they're going to have all year round, and they're going to spend it, and they're going to buy a car. And if I don't have the car that they want in the range that they want, then they're going to go somewhere else. And I have to make sure that I'm getting as many customers as I can. I'm getting as many of these cars out, because anything that's left over when the money dries up, it's going to sit. Because people who are going to buy a car, they're going to buy a car when they have that extra money sitting in their account, and that's what happens during tax time. Then after that, all those people they bought, they're going to find it from somewhere, whether it's from me or another dealer, and then it gets really, really, really slow after tax time. I always talk about there's this mini crash that happens in the car market every single year, and it's exactly for this, is that everyone who's going to buy a car buys it when they have that extra money, and then there's no sales at the beginning of summer, because no one needs a car anymore. They've already bought it. So the prices crash. They crash on a wholesale level because dealers, they get overexposed, and then sales dry up. And that's what we've experienced every single year. It's going to happen again, just like that this year. So that's why I'm so I guess stressed would be the word about all these cars that are sitting behind me, because we have to get them out as quickly as possible, because I know the money is going to be gone very, very quickly. And here's the situation. I don't know if you hear kids yelling in the background, but here's a situation that I have to deal with during tax time, with also making YouTube videos for you guys, is that, okay, I don't want to have a lot of customers in the background. I've actually got one lady staring at me now. She must know I work here. She wants to ask me a question, but I'm walking this way to get away a little bit, but hopefully she can't hear me. But we're making a lot of videos, and a lot of these videos I show cars and I'll walk through. But if we're open, which we're open most days, then I'm not going to be able to actually film when I have lots of customers around here. So I'm picking small little points where we get slow, and I say slow, and we have 3 sets of customers here right now. That's slow for us right now, but I have to avoid all these customers, and my team doesn't want me to answer their questions anyway. So, but I'm out here, and if they ask something, I'm gonna at least try to answer the question. But here we go. Let's try.